Hey guys, welcome to the Love Field Knitter podcast. Today is December 15th, 2015. My name is Ann. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope as AnnFran25. You can find the group on Ravelry under Love Field Knitter podcast. You can find show notes for the podcast on lovefieldknitterpodcast.blogspot.com. They can also be found on Ravelry as well, under the episode thread. I'm also the owner of, now it's called Left Field Knitter. I decided to change the name, and we've actually changed sites as well. We're now on Etsy, so look for us there. But that's pretty much the big news for this week. I know it's been a month or so since I've podcast last. I've been working an awful lot of overtime at work because we are down a couple people. But the overtime helps whenever it comes to the holidays, as far as purchasing Christmas gifts and things like that. But other than that, other than the overtime and holidays, there's not a lot been happening. Like I said, I changed the storefront for LFK. I changed it from LFK Stitch Markers to now just Left Field Knitter. I was told that it would be good to potentially rebrand myself as Left Field Knitter. And I have also made a individual Instagram account for Left Field Knitter for the store updates. So you can follow me there as well. So I guess you could say now I have two Instagram accounts. I have one that's personal, which is AnnFran25, and then I have my business, I guess, account under Left Field Knitter. And over the course of the past month, I found out that my local favorite yarn store, Yarn Tree Studio, is closing, and I believe now they are actually closed. They are selling off fixtures and things like that. I'm really sad to see them go. We're pretty much on my way home from Morrisville. I don't know if I've said this recently, but I live about 20 minutes east of Raleigh. So, and I work in Morrisville, so it's on my way home off Six Forks Road. In Raleigh, and I'm really sad to see them go because I was looking forward to being able to spend Christmas money with them and help support their business. But I guess now it's time to find a new local yarn store within like 30-40 minutes from me. The only other closer one, there are actually two. There's one off of I think it's Litchford Road, which is kind of a go around your elbow to get to your thumb type store. That's in Raleigh. And then there's one in Wilson, which is Ellie's Yarn Stash, which is I've only been to once, but I do love her little store. I'm sorry, I've actually been there twice, and I was hoping to be able to get out there on the 12th of this past weekend, and life got in the way. The husband decided that we should go and do other things besides go to Wilson, so I spent time with him. He has had a schedule change from 3rd to 2nd, so now he's no longer what I call a zombie husband. So that works out well for me. But I guess now we'll kind of go ahead and go into the finished objects. So I did have the Alistair's Rose Pile Shawl, and I did finish it, but the cat's kind of got a hold of that one, so I have to wash it before I can show it, so I'm hoping to remember to show that next time I podcast. The next thing that I finished was the socks called Bubbles Down the Drain. These are a pattern by Stacey Perry, who is Very Pink. She runs the Very Pink Knits YouTube channel. These were done on, done with Nerd Girl yarn, Bounce and Stomp base in the Goo Queen colorway on a size, let's see, 2.25 millimeter. And I guess that's it for those. One project I cannot show you because I do not have it is the original Stained Mystery Cow by Josh Ricks. I do not have that because I sent it to him because it was a test for him in the yarn that he had chosen. So I sent that back. I'll try to remember to upload a picture, and hopefully you've seen it here. That was done on a US 9 5.5 millimeter. The other thing, which is rather epic that I finished, although I don't have the buttons on it yet, is my Delancey cardigan. As you can see, I've got, both sleeves. I've finished the collar, and it fits really well. Let's see if I can get it on without too much fuss. But like I said, I just don't have the buttons on them. I've got them picked out, I just haven't put them on yet, and it needs to be washed as well. But this is what it looks like so far. I know you guys probably can't see much, but I'll try to include a picture of me wearing it whenever I finished it while standing up, and hopefully you've seen that here. The next thing, I think I'm just going to keep the sweater on because it's a little chilly in the house tonight. The next thing I finished is my second Stained Mystery Cow, again by Josh Ricks. This one was done in Brown Sheep Nature Spun fingering. Oh, I forgot to say that the original Stained Mystery Cow shawl was originally done out of Miss Babs Yowza in her What a Skein worsted in Oyster, which is kind of a grayish color, and then Volcanic Eruption, which is oranges and reds and a little bit of browns. So the second one is done out of Brown Sheep Nature Spun fingering in the Purple Splendor and Ebony Shadows colorway. Hope you guys can see this. But I think last time you guys saw it, I was about right here, so I finished up the border. And it is at least, I need to block it, but it's at least my wingspan complete. I did the blue band at the bottom here, and that will come into play in a minute whenever I show you the hat, because I tested the hat as well. These are a great pattern. I think until Christmas right now she has it for free, so I would definitely recommend going and grabbing it. You can either choose the hat or the mittens. You can't get both, but they are definitely a pattern I would definitely go get. And then the hat I completed as well, and this one has a white band with the same colors, so I just switched it whenever we did the color work. But here again, it is a little slouchy, so I folded over on the back, but it wears really well and it's really warm, and I'm so very much looking forward to when the weather turns colder, because this week has been in the 70s. It's 2 weeks to Christmas, or actually, sorry, it's a week till Christmas come Friday. We've not had any snow, we've had a little bit of rain, and we've had warm weather. I want it to turn cold, and I know that's silly, but I do. I want it to turn cold. So I guess you could say that's all that I've finished. I'm still working on the Sparkle Punk mystery sock. I'm still waiting on a cuff for that, but like I said last time, she's going through some health problems, so I'm not pushing her on that. But I am looking forward to having that one done. And this is, like I said, this I'm going to go ahead and count it as a finished project, because like I said, next time you guys see it, it will probably be off the needles and sent to its owner. This is, again, the Stained Mystery knit along from Josh Ricks. Doing it in Brown Sheep Nature Spun Fingering again. This time it's in Victorian Pink and Ebony Shadows. So this is what it looks like so far. I decided I was running out of the Victorian Pink, so by the time I got to clues, like the last 3 clues, I think it's like clue 11 through 13, but anyway, I decided to change up, so I did stripes for a little while till I almost ran out of pink, and then I did a long black border, and now I'm working on the I-cord bind off. So, and this is going to turn out pretty much the same length as my other one. So, I'll just need to wash it before I send it to its new owner. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and call that one done, because by the time I do another podcast, it will probably be on its way to its rightful owner, but I will try to remember to take a full photo so that I can insert it next week. Or next time I record, I should say. Oops, I forgot to put the other set of needles. And again, that's done on a, both of the fingering weight stained shawls are done on a size 5, 3.75 millimeter. Oh, and the mittens and the hats were done on a US 3, 3.25 and a US 5, 3.75. Excuse me. The other things that I'm working on, I'm working on another sweater. This time it's the Harvest cardigan, and I have gotten pretty far on this. In fact, I am, of course, in the middle of a row, but I'm almost done with the body. I'm on the garter stitch border. Like you can see, I've split for the sleeves. I've just kind of been working on this whenever I felt like it. Kind of burnt out on socks a little bit, but I am going to probably pick up another pair to knit tomorrow, just because I can't take the sweater to work, and I'm almost done with the stained cardigan, or the stained shawl. But I'm doing this out of reclaimed Red Heart Super Saver in white. I reclaimed it from one of the original sweaters that I ever knit. The sweater looked like a box on me. Not a very flattering look. Okay, so that's all the main works in progress. Like I said last time I recorded, I have started what I'm calling my madness. And I have added to my madness. So I've added a second square to my mini skein, or mini mitered square blanket. I'm doing this on a US 2.5, no, what is a 2.75 millimeter. So, and this is Kretzer On Your Toes in the mulberry print. And I've got a few several mini skeins in here to add to it, and I'm keeping that in one of my little bags. It's about the perfect size for right now. So that's pretty much all I've been working on. I decided that one of the socks from Socktober was not going to become the socks that I wanted them to become. I wanted them to become the mockery socks. It did not work out that way. I started the patterning and I could not see the pattern to save my life. It was too variegated, so they will probably become a plain pair of socks, probably shorty socks, just to be on the safe side. Just because I don't think I have enough to make a full size long cuff sock with that. Let's see. Okay, so now I guess we can go into acquisitions. see if I can find them. Oh, yeah. The first thing is a pattern that was actually gifted to me by Sir Panda Bear, which is RJ. He was on a podcast a few weeks ago with Josh, who's sort of a knitter, on his podcast. He was a special guest, and apparently he had looked at my profile enough to see that I had asked for a couple of Josh's patterns, and he chose to purchase the tailspin for me. I'm really looking forward to working on this. I just don't have the yarn that I would like to work with just yet. But I'm very happy and excited to be able to try to make it. And wanted to say thank you, RJ. That was very sweet of you. The other thing is, I saw on Instagram that people were doing what they call "Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted," the hashtag. They did this last year as well. I asked last year, and I guess I was on private at that point, so I didn't get seen by a lot of people, and I guess in order to have your wishes granted, you kind of have to be on public, or the people that are following you and you allow to follow you have to be willing to gift as well. But this time around, I decided to do it again, and I asked for some sock size DPNs. I am trying. When I was working on the mittens, I got to the point where I felt like it would be easier to work it on double points than to work it on magic loop, because magic loop is usually my preferred method. But because it was color work and I wanted to make sure that they didn't get bunched up on the needle, I thought to be able to keep it loose I would do the DPNs, and that was a size 5. I kind of got used to it, so I thought maybe I would do a pair of socks with some DPNs as well. And I have forgotten their names, but I got one set, one lady sent me a set of Hiya Sharps, or no, I'm sorry, not Sharps. These are just the Hiya regular, in 6-inch, 1.5, US 1.5, which is 2.5 millimeter. And then another lady sent me Susan Bates sets of knitting needles. I have to figure out, but they range from a US triple aught, it's got triple aught, double aught, and money. So hopefully by the new year I'll be able to purchase some new stuff and maybe even get a couple new patterns started. But as far as my store is concerned, please look for me on Etsy. Like I said, it's now Left Field Knitter, and it's on Etsy, so that's leftfieldknitter.etsy.com. And of course I'll link it in the podcast underneath the video on YouTube. And please hit the subscribe button if you want to continue watching my videos and get notified whenever the new ones come up. And I appreciate everybody that has stuck around with me. I know I've been kind of sporadic recently. Life just kind of takes over whenever I work in between 48 and 56 hours a week, and sometimes 60. So just bear with me, and hopefully by the new year we'll get on a good schedule. Bye guys. Have a great night.